Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. Oh, that sounds kind of dark. That's all right. Mm-hmm. Okay. Hi, everybody. Kevin here from Freelance Computing. It has been quite a while since I have done a Facebook Live video. Just have been busy with other things. For those who know, me and Eva have been working on our craft stuff for quite a bit. What space? Actually, no. So what I'm going to be doing is replacing the battery for this MacBook Air. So what ended up happening was I actually wasn't even thinking, because we've been so busy with all the other craft stuff. I've actually completely forgotten about working on this, and also my mistake too is yeah, I actually ended up formatting the computer that I'm working on now, and didn't even think about doing the Facebook Live thing. Yeah, I got to a point where the computer kept on like causing issues and stuff. So I was like, oh, I'm just gonna wipe it. And then after doing that, I was like, oh crap! Like, this is the computer that I used to do all the Facebook Live stuff. So I finally gone and fixed it. Well, finished restoring it and all the other fun stuff. So, but anyways, I digress. All right. So what we're going to be doing today is, like I said before, replacing the MacBook battery. So I actually did already ordered one, and I've already replaced it. But I thought about, you know what, I should do a video to show you guys like how to actually do it, just in case you run into any issues, or if you ever get into a point where you do have to do that also. So let me just set up my screens here, and we should be good to go. Okay, there. And I also moved the cameras around too, so this one is finally like working well. I'm just trying to get the lighting better on the YouTube one. Whoa, I don't know why the YouTube one's so freaking dark. Not like that one is the main one anyways, but you know what, whatever. I'm not too worried about it. For those who joined in, how's my volume? Is it good? I had to replace the microphone too. The microphone for some reason just crapped itself out, and I don't know why. So hopefully you guys can hear me okay. All right, just taking a stride. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to angle the cameras down now. Oh, please focus. There you go. All right, thank you. And I'll do the, ooh, shoot. That was dumb. All right, there we go. Oh, no. Why did you? Ugh. Technology, I hate you. All right, good enough. Okay, so, oh, jeez, it's still freaking crooked. Can you just work with me here and just be good for once? All right, thank you. Just stay there. Okay. All right, so hopefully you guys can see everything. All right, so what I'm going to be doing is taking out the back and replacing the battery and all that kind of fun stuff. So this is actually, if you remember, this was the one that I replaced the logic board. Excuse me, for my client. So long story short, it worked. And then a day later, she tells me, hey, my battery's not charging. And I'm like, what do you mean? So basically, when she's using it and she accidentally just unplugged it, and the laptop just completely shut off. So what was weird is that the battery was charging. Well, so I thought it was charging. But clearly it actually wasn't charging all the way. So it stopped at 77% or 81% or something like that. So when it happened, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm not even going to bother. I have another MacBook Air that's exactly the same model. So all I did was basically just swapped out her hard drive, and I gave it back to her. I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to bother swapping out the logic board and all this other crap again. So so what I did, so now she has mine and I have hers, but it's the same thing, so whatever. But hers is the one with the dead battery. So I'm going to go ahead and start swapping that out. So you guys will probably remember how to remove these screws. Make sure you get your iFixit repair kit. It has all the different type of heads and everything like that for you to use. So let's go ahead and use it. So the small ones here, it's not a torque. Once again, it is your P2 or whatever that translates to. So that's too small. Was it the P2 or the P? No, it was the P5. That was P5. Let's do P5. All right, P5. Let's do that. All right, and hopefully the light isn't like screwing up too badly. I'm trying to get a good angle here. Facebook camera's freaking out, but whatever. So I do apologize in advance. I think I have it set for autofocus, so it's gonna start going in and out like it wants to, and it's gonna be a complete pain in the butt. And probably give you guys a headache, but that's all right. Anyways, just remember the two ones up here in the center are longer than the other 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The other 8 screws around the cover. So just keep that in mind when you guys are removing those screws. All right, and for those who are watching, how is my volume? I'm assuming I'm okay because no one said, I can't hear you. Or the people like, you guys need to replace your mic. It's a piece of crap, yada, yada. I was like, yeah, I know. For some reason, that mic just died on me. I don't know why. So I swapped it out for the exact same one. So if you guys can hear me, awesome. It was nothing wrong with the brand. It was just something wrong with the actual specific microphone. So stop telling me that that microphone sucks because it worked perfectly fine. Obviously, besides when it's broken. Okay, I digress. All right, so anyways, okay, so here is the back. Now, I'm sure you guys are familiar. This was the logic board that I swapped out. So here is the battery. So the nice thing about the MacBook Air that I will admit is that they did allow you to replace the battery without that much of an issue. What I mean by that is that they actually didn't stick it with adhesive all over the place. Now, the MacBook Pros, I think the newer ones, or the MacBook Airs also, I forget which ones, but they actually glued or stuck adhesive on the other side. So you literally had to like peel out all this other crap to get through it. Kind of similar to when I did the Apple iPhone. I don't know if you guys remember that one, but that was the one where the person was put packaging tape to hold the battery in instead of using the proper adhesive. So they pretty much essentially the same thing, but with a whole lot more adhesive. Now, mind you, this was the newer version of the MacBook Airs and the MacBook Pros. This one, however, is very nice, and you basically have to remove 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws, unplug that, and the battery stuff slips right out. So let's go ahead and do that. For those who are curious, the client that had that issue with the iPhone, we are finally all set. It was such a ride to get her all figured out and square. Long story short, she had some personal stuff going on. It took us weeks for us to finally meet up. And then finally I was like, you know what? Let's just meet somewhere and just go ahead and do this. So we actually ended up meeting at long screw, upper left, long screw, upper right, long screw, dead center. Lower left and lower right, these are short screws. So keep that in mind when you guys are doing the battery replacement. Anyway, so we actually meeted up at Dunkin' Donuts, and I swapped out the phone and yada, yada, yada. And then she tried to do her backup, and go figure, she sends me a text and saying, hey, I'm having an issue with my iCloud backup. It says I ran out of space. Did you give me a 64 gig or a 16? And I was like, son of a B. So I double checked, and of course, she had a 64 gig, and I gave her a 16. So that is obviously the reason why her backup wasn't working. So I had to meet her at a restaurant where she was going to have dinner with her boyfriend. And I just told her, listen, I'll just do the SIM swap really quick. You can figure out the backup after that. So meet him at this restaurant. And thankfully, the boyfriend was really nice. And I was like, hey, thank you for being patient. I'm sure that she's told you all about what's going on, yada, yada, yada. And he was just laughing. He's like, no, I totally get it, but whatever you need to do. So I'm sitting there, and it looks like it's a freaking drug deal because I have my SIM tool, and we're swapping out like SIM cards and phones. And, you know, the people sitting left and right of me, they're like, what the hell is this guy doing? Like, why is he swapping out SIM cards? Like I was doing a burner phone or something. I don't know. But anyway, so we got it up and running. And then she didn't have unlimited data. So, and then it forces you to be on the Wi-Fi for the backup to work. So I ended up connecting to the restaurant's Wi-Fi, which was a POS, but it still worked. And it said it was going to take about 45 minutes to an hour for the backup to complete. And I was like, listen, enjoy your drinks, enjoy your appetizers, dinner, whatever you want to do, and just let the phone go. Just let it do its thing. If you leave and it's not done yet, when you go home and you connect to your home Wi-Fi, it'll resume where it was, yada, yada. And she was like, thank you so much, and all this other good stuff. It's been about 3 weeks, and I haven't heard anything from her. So I guess silence is golden, and I'll just take it in stride. I was debating on doing a follow-up, but I mean, she's still going through whatever stuff that she's going through, so I'm not going to bother her. All it is that it's finally done, and so be it. So I'm just leaving it at that. Anyways, okay, so battery. So 1, 2, 3 long screws, 1, 2 short screws. After you unplug this, you just gingerly lift. And look at that. No adhesive or nothing. Look, nice and clean. Nice, clean removal. Beautiful. All right. And then just to show you guys the bottom of that. So it pretty much just goes into this entire section right over here. So then what you do is, you get a new battery or whatever. I'll put a link in the description below of where you could actually purchase these batteries. They're not too expensive. I think I got this one off of Amazon for around $30. So you do basically the opposite of what you did to remove it. So what I like to do is I kind of just fit it to the bottom first. And just make sure you align the holes here too. Sometimes it can be misaligned, and then you're going to force the screw in there. Try not to do that because you'll actually damage the housing and then it won't fit right. So what you could do is you could screw, I would actually plug in this first because the wires are a little bit tight. So you just go ahead and pop that in there, and then let's do the screws. Doesn't really matter which direction you go. I just do the bottom ones first just to set them in. And then after that, I'll do the top ones. Okay, so yeah, sorry, Angela, no space stations today, but I will show you guys the next project or item that I will be repairing. It's an oldie but goodie. For those who are Android phone users or any sort of Android, even if you're Apple iPhone people and you know what Android is, you know, I'll still tell you. It's still an oldie. I'll show you actually. It's still an oldie but goodie. And I'm actually pretty excited to work on it. And the green beast that I built, I don't know if I mentioned this, but it has been sold. It's going to some family for their son's Christmas gift, which is awesome. And of course, the game that he wants to play is Fortnite. Of course, because why not? So anyway, wicked excited. Got that thing all set up. I think they're going to be picking it up the 23rd or something. So a couple days right before Christmas. And I ran all the tests. I just got to remember before I give it to her to hook it up and make sure it has all Windows updates and everything like that. So anyways, okay, so the one thing I actually did forget to mention too is when I was doing the logic board replacement, I think I mentioned the fact that for some reason this top corner was not sitting in here properly. So I thought the case was bent. I was moving it all around, yada, yada, yada. And then the other MacBook Pro, I just swapped the back panels and there was no issues. So it took me forever to figure out why the back panel was not sitting correctly. And I'm going to try to show you guys here. So when you replace the logic board, obviously there's a ton of wires everywhere. So you have your wireless over here, and then your power display, all that fun stuff, right? So up in this corner, I actually thought it was the actual heat sink itself. So I actually ended up bending the housing, and then the fan wasn't spinning right, and oh, it's a complete mess. So I ended up having to replace that whole thing. And still wouldn't cover. So I thought it was the screw that I had. It was this rubber piece here. It was the heat pipe. I was bending it all over the place. Could not figure out why until I looked really closely right in this crevice right into here. So you can't really see it, but there is a wire that runs along here. Now, what you're supposed to do is tuck the wire underneath the logic board. But right here in this corner is where it gets really stubborn. Now, obviously, you don't want to force it because you'll end up causing more damage. But what I ended up doing was, as I was shoving the case down, that corner was basically pressing right into the wire that's right here. And it was just crushing it and crushing. I don't even know. I'm surprised that I didn't even snap the damn thing. But finally, I opened it, and I'm like, why the hell? And I just happened to finally catch that the wire was right here in this crevice where that corner piece was going into. And this cable is normally rounded. It was completely flattened out because I was pressing it so damn hard and also screwing it in with the screw. So obviously that didn't help. So I was able to tuck the wire where it's supposed to go underneath the logic board, at least enough to move it out of the way so I have that corner area cleared, so I could actually put that back panel on and have it nice and flush. So as you can see here, when I put it on, see how it kind of snaps right in, and look, I can rub my finger and it's completely flush. Before it was popped out like this, and there was like not a gap, but I was just basically trying to force it to keep it flush, and it just wouldn't do it. And it was driving me absolutely bananas. But anyways, it was able to figure it out, so we're good to go. So let's go ahead and let's put this back thing together. Now, normally I would plug it in just to make sure that the battery is charging. Normally what you could do is, as long as when you plug it in, for those non-Mac people, the charging port will actually light up green, like a green dot first, and then it'll flick to orange. Now, what ends up happening is that the orange means that it is charging, but that's what ended up happening to the original battery. It was just orange, but it would stay on orange and would never turn back to green. So what I did was I booted it into Mac OS, and I watched the battery to make sure it was charging. So when I got it from Amazon, they usually drain it halfway, so it was around 50%. And I left it plugged in, went to have dinner, came back down, went all the way up to like 85%. I'm like, okay, good, it's charging. And of course, what I did was I left it on and I pulled the power plug, and the laptop stayed on perfectly fine. So that's when I know that the battery is actually functioning properly. I left it plugged overnight, checked it, and the light turned green to let me know that the battery was fully charged. And then I booted it back into Mac OS and double checked it. It was at 100%. Unplugged the power cable once again, made sure it was draining properly, and everything is good. So right now I would show you guys, but I've already fully charged this battery. So if I do plug it in, it's just going to it's just going to stay green. So you're just going to have to trust me on it, I guess. So, but we'll see. But anyways, all right. So that is that. And just to show you that the battery is working, I will go ahead and power it on for you. Let me change the angle of this bad boy right there. Okay, and boop. All right, and I heard the fan spin, so that's always a good thing. And we're just gonna wait for this thing to turn on, and hopefully it won't make me a liar. I did hear the fan spin, and the see how it's white? Hold on, let me try to move this out of the way. So see how it's glowing? So that means it's powered on. So, so we're just gonna wait here. Let's see what happens. Oh, come on, show me the logo. Show me the logo. Oh, yay. Woo! Got nervous there. Whoops, sorry about that. That was the speaker. And there it is. So, battery has been replaced and it is working as it should. Yay! And the peasants rejoice. All right, so let's move this right back to where it is. Okay. And I'm just going to go ahead and shut this down because we know it works. And we are good. Okay. All right, so that pretty much concludes the video I had for you guys in regards. Oh, geez, this thing is just, come on, stay up there. So that pretty much concludes the video for you guys for the, just trying to reach my light switch over there, for the MacBook battery repair. Like I said before, I will post this, all the links and everything of the battery and the repair kit and all that kind of fun stuff on the description below. If you guys did like my video, please like and subscribe, and please share amongst your friends, family, even acquaintances. I am not a shy person, if you couldn't tell by now. And then let me know what you guys think. Oh, let me show you what my next project is actually before I let you guys go. Okay, so this here, this bad boy. Oh, there we go. Okay, that there. This is a Google Pixel XL. Yes, this is the original one. I think it's about 2 or 3 years old or whatever. So some guy on Facebook Marketplace was put it for sale for $100. Now, what he, oh, I thought I turned it off. Oh, the battery's still running. That's funny. Anyway, so clearly the phone is on, but you can't see anything, and this is what ended up happening. So he told me that he dropped it, and there was a slight crack right down here. And then a couple of days later, the screen just went completely white, and then poof, it's done. It's not turning on anymore. Well, the screen doesn't turn on, but the phone clearly still turns on. All right, I think I shut it off. But anyways, that's besides. Okay, good. So anyways, so with this thing over here, he was selling for $100, and I was like, all right, well, it's a Verizon phone, which I have Verizon, and it's also unlocked. So I was like, okay, so I could use this on any SIM card, practically, because it's unlocked and everything. So I was talking to the guy, and I was like, all right, how about can you do $50? Now, mind you, behind story, I've actually bought something from him before. It was a video card for a computer, and he actually sold me at a really good price. So I'm talking to him, and I basically said, like, okay, how about we do $50? And he was like, I don't know if I can do 50. Can you do 60 without the Mophie battery pack, which is this bad boy over here? And man, does this thing add a decent amount of weight to it. But thing allowed you to do wireless charging, anyways, all that fun stuff. Anyway, so I was like, okay, how about this? How about I will do 60 for the phone and the battery pack? And he was waiting and waiting, and so I was like, okay, look, I went online, and on Amazon, the screen itself goes around $80 for me to repair it. So I was like, listen, I'm $80 plus the 60, plus the fact that it's more of a risk for me because I'm taking your word for it. Now, mind you, I guess I was kind of drilling him with questions, but at the same time, didn't want to waste my money. So I basically asked him, like, what happened to it? How did it happen? What did you do? How long did it take for it to blah, 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 this and that? And I thanked him for his answers because he was actually completely transparent with me. He didn't BS or try to make up some stupid story like, oh, I don't know what happened to it. It just did it. Like the majority of freaking scumbags online. But anyways, so he told me everything, what he did, how it happened, what he tried to do. And he was like, I was actually thinking about fixing it, but it just gave me an excuse to upgrade to the newer model. And I was like, God, that's legit. I'll take it. So he was like, it turns on, it vibrates if you touch the fingerprint back here. It'll, like, right now it's, I don't know if you guys could hear it, but hold on. Probably not. But anyways, it does vibrate while you press this, so it's giving an error because it's clearly not his fingerprint. But anyways, so he's like, it turns on. I know it turns on because of the fingerprint thing, but just nothing's showing up on the screen. I was like, okay. So I ended up meeting up with him, and then just paying the $60, and then basically bought the part online, and it should be coming in within the next couple days, and that'll be my next project. So hopefully the next time I do this video, you will see this thing up and running, and I'll probably end up, I don't know if I want to switch to it or not because it's decently larger than my Galaxy S7. Here, I'll put it like a comparison. Not too well. This has the case on it, but clearly it still has like a little bit more girth. Oh wait, hold on. A little bit more girth to it. I don't know. We'll see. And who knows? It's actually pretty comfortable, but that's without the Mophie case. And the Mophie case adds like an extra like ½ an inch thickness and a little bit more on the, I don't know, all around. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll try it out and see. But of course, I have to fix it first. So, anyways, all right. So, like I said, if you guys liked it, like, subscribe, hit the little bell for notification on YouTube. Then on Facebook, please like and share, tag everybody, share, all that fun stuff. And hope you guys learned something. And I will put the links to everything on the description below. So once again, thank you for watching, and y'all have a great night. And if I don't see you, Merry Christmas. All right, take care, guys. Bye.